In today's sessions, we present all the information you need to know how to apply to the program, such as the program features and the administration's requirements. We'll have, invite a few alumni to share their experience and tips towards the end. We will also have Q&A, so please save your questions at the end so we can address them. Now, without further ado, may I invite Professor Amy Chow, Head of Department of Social Work and Social Administration, Hong Kong U, and the Co-Director of HKU-UBS SSILP, to give us welcoming remarks and introduction. Professor Chow, please.
Okay, thank you, Lena. Thank you all for coming here. Tonight, we have a cold weather, but you still come directly and then make this place much warmer. So thank you a lot. Thanks a lot. So this is already the third time we have this orientation. So if you are selected, you will be the third batch. So once again, I would like to extend our gratitude to UBS for the support for initiating this project, because without them, I don't think we will work on it. Yeah, so thank you for giving this opportunity. But you will also see some people around. They are also our former students and now are very great leaders in the field. So you can mingle with them later on. So what are our mission? So these are our free mission, but it embed in our short term. So do you still remember SSILP? What are they? No, just slip. Not slip and fail. The middle work is the one of the word is L. So our program is mainly for leaders. Maybe you are current leaders, maybe you are future leaders. We really hope that you are empowered and you will have the capacity to even perform your leadership in much better and efficient way. So this is our first objective. And the SSI, so one of the S is about sustainability. So we don't think individual can work on their own. So we believe that partnership, networking is very important. Once again, thank you, UBS. They are not only bringing the funding, they also support the program with a lot of good mentors, expert in different areas. So in this program, you are not only learning from the classroom boring textbook, but you will also be exposed to great leaders in the field, and also the mentor of different discipline. And that is how you learn. But at the same time, peer learning is also important. So the network is not only with the mentor, the participant, but also the peers as well. So what are the ultimate goal is the final SI. We hope that you can perform some project, propose new idea, and integrate the innovation. And in terms, we hope that we can have good project that can benefit the well-being. So I'm only one small potato in this project. The working group is here. Cheryl, my colleagues from the Department of Social Work, the Associate Professor, Cheryl Choi. And also the UBS team are very hardworking. Rob is now around. And also, May, she cannot make it today, but she sent her two colleagues to come to support the project as well. So maybe the next slide. So these are the team members, the working team members. Maybe you can just step up. Yeah. Luke. And then Lena, you met Lena. Yeah. Nicole is the one who keep on communicating with you. And then Yuho is outside. Yeah. Yeah. No, she also wait for the other participant. And Cindy, she's also one of the great contributor to this project. Whenever we have problem, we will go to her. So then that's all for my part. So my duty is to introduce. Oh no, I let the MC to introduce.
Of course, it's always very important. Thank you, Professor Chow. Thank you. And it's also very important always to have the founder, who is also the head of head corporate communication APAC of UBS, and the steering committee member, Mr. Rob Stewart, to come and say a few words about the program. Thank you.
Thank you, and welcome everybody. When we started thinking about what we wanted to do with this project, it was a little bit born out of frustration that, you know, from the corporate side, every year we get literally hundreds of funding proposals from different NGOs, and it's very difficult to compare them. So what we wanted to do initially was to create some sort of uniformity across the industry, so that it would make it easier to see what was good projects and what wasn't. Um, it sort of blossomed from there that if you look at it, there are very much three parts of doing something like this. You obviously need to have the government involved. And increasingly, even though Hong Kong government is fairly hands-off in the charity sector, apart from the big end of it, what we've done and what HKU have been fantastic at doing is bringing in members of the government to show them what actually is happening at the grassroots level. So that was another aspect of it. We wanted it to be a very practical program. So, you know, teaching things like crisis management communications. How do you deal with it when the press are coming at you and something has gone wrong? So it's not just an academic course, but of course it needs to have the rigor of an academic level of teaching, so that people feel at the end of it that they're qualified to do what they need to do. At the end of the day, what we're trying to generate is the next generation of Hong Kong NGO leaders. One of the issues back in the 80s, 90s was a lot of the NGOs were set up by an individual. That individual might get old or retire or even move out of Hong Kong. And so then what happens to the NGO? It's a big issue for Hong Kong. And again, having a new generation of people who are enthusiastic, know what they're doing, and know how to make something sustainable is really important for the city. Over the last 5 years, through protests, through longer than 5 years, but through COVID, yeah, time flies, doesn't it? Through COVID, obviously things got fairly seriously bad here. The number of people sleeping on the streets rose dramatically, people losing jobs. The community was definitely struggling. So the NGO sector has become more and more important. And I think we're now in the third year of this course at HKU. What I'm hoping is that we create a very strong group of people who can help Hong Kong get out of that struggling phase and move forward. From a UBS point of view, as Amy mentioned, we have a very strong mentoring group. We have certain skills across finance, across marketing, across media, plus legal and other skills that are quite useful and often are skill sets that NGOs don't necessarily have or can afford. So one of the other things that you'll find if you join this course is that you'll get access to a group of very qualified people who are very dedicated to giving back to the community. And last but not least, and again, you mentioned it, the alumni, many of whom are here today, and it's quite interesting at all the events we have. There's always a large group that turn up. I think the connectivity, the pride of being part of this is very important. So if you do choose to, or if you do get chosen and you do decide to join the course, I think those are the key elements of it. And having that pride that you're part of something very special, very different is very, very important. So I think that's enough from me. I'll hand over to you.
Thank you, Rob. Very important for UBS support. I am also one of a proud alumni of the program myself. Moving on, we like to, of course, talk about the program features, and this is why you're here. So we'd like to invite Professor Cheryl Choi, Associate Professor of Department of Social Work and Social Administration, Hong Kong U, and Co-Director of HKU-UBS SSILP, to walk us through the program features and how you can enjoy the program. And I can get to sit because I know all this myself already.
Okay, thank you very much, Lena. So I think echoing what Professor Amy Chow and Rob have already said and introduced part of why this program is unique compared to other capacity building programs. So again, I'll just walk you through briefly about what this program offers. The first is a very innovative scholar-practitioner curriculum. So from our own understanding, this is the first and only program in Hong Kong that is a tripartite partnership between academia, commercial sector, private sector, as well as the nonprofit philanthropic sector, where we actually co-created this curriculum. So at the very inception of this program, actually we invited practitioners from the industry to actually co-create and prioritize things that they want to learn most from capacity for their own organizational capacity building. The second is a very dynamic cross-sector mentorship, as Rob has already mentioned. We have corporate leaders in different expert field area, including financial management, fundraising, fund development, crisis management, PR, some things that many NGOs have to face increasingly in today's world, where a false media post, for example, can cause quite a lot of chaos. So that's something that the private sector can leverage on the strengths and give to our participants. We also have a lot of diverse network of field leaders where we can connect you with whatever field or interested groups of vulnerable population groups that you're working on, be it on aging or arts or mental health or ex-offenders, domestic workers, and so forth. So we've created and also have solicited a lot of support from the fields that we can get to connect our participants with. And also, of course, you will have an access to funding opportunities. Many of you will be very interested to hear about this. But of course, this is a byproduct of what we actually want to do as a program, which is to build up the capacity of the entire sector to train up leaders who will eventually be the sector itself. So we do have, amongst our participants, we will have 2 champions, with each champion granted $400,000 Hong Kong as a startup grant. Of course, we emphasize sustainability and innovation. So it's not like previous funding models where it's charity-based. We do also require and also request the projects to be eventually sustainable on its own. Okay, so you should have an exit plan before you pitch us the project. Yes, and the other part that we have tried and also began last year is our connection with the Greater Bay Area. So philanthropy is a huge industry that is hugely developing in the Greater Bay Area, where there's a lot of innovation, experiments, and also ideas that are being tested and tried within the Greater Bay Area. So we did connect, we have participants from last year. 2 of them are here today with us today, and you'll hear from them directly. But to connect this area so that Hong Kong and also the GBA area could be an actual showcase for how philanthropy and social innovation can be done, and that we are the area across the entire East Asia, I would say, if we're a little bit more ambitious, people coming here to learn from us how to do philanthropy and so forth. So you will have a trip also to organize a field trip to the GBA area and have an exchange opportunity with participants across the border. So this is some already the timeline that we've set for 2025. All this you can actually find on our website, but just to go through here, in total, there will be actually 10 face-to-face sessions in terms of classroom-based learning. And on the right-hand side, you see the mentoring sessions. Okay, so these are all the dates, and we do require our participants to commit to the program. So once you do commit, we do expect you to show up. We do take, like an academia course, attendance, okay, and also for your own optimizing your own learning as well. So these are all the dates and times. It's always on Friday afternoons, starting from April the 11th. We have a summer break in between with the field trip, but apart from that, the final pitching day will take place on September 19th of this year. Okay, so and alternatively, the venue where our classes will take place depends on whether or not we have a mentoring session. So for each mentoring sessions, the venue will be at UBS. So the same day where you find you have mentoring session, it will always be at UBS. Those sessions without mentoring sessions, it will likely be all at HKU. Okay, so you get the best of both worlds. Okay, so I think now I don't need Lena to introduce maybe you want to, for our next session where we can have a sharing with our previous SSILP fellows, right? Do you want to introduce them or?
Yeah, I'll just quickly.
Yes.
Oh, thank you, Professor Choi. And if you have questions about the program, please save at the end. So we're going to pass this time to you to moderate, because we're talking about whether I will moderate or she'll moderate.
I will moderate.
Yeah,
Actually,
so I'll leave it back to you to moderate, and like to invite the 3 alumni from previous year, last year, to join us. We got Nick from Shakespeare. For all, we have Xian from Xinzhen Foundation, and we have last year champion Lucy Zhang from Xinzhen Media Group Charity Foundation. So I leave it to you, Professor Shui. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you very much. The 3 of you, very happy to see your faces again, even though it's only been about half a year, I think, from last time, or Christmas we saw each other. So can I ask each one of you first to quickly introduce yourself and also what your organization does?
Sure. Hi, I'm Nicholas. I'm the Artistic Director of Shakespeare for All. My organization's been around for 21 years, but I've been in my role for a year and a half. So when I took this course, I was a brand new leader. And so we help underprivileged people in Hong Kong, particularly students and young people, get access to theater to reach their full potential.
Hello, everyone. This is Xian from Shenzhen Foundation, one of the biggest foundations in China, and I'm one of the class 2024 cohort in SSILP. So what I mainly do as a project manager is to work with NGOs on mainland fundraising platforms such as Taobao and Alipay. So what I do is, well, to be in brief, project management. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Lucy. Sorry, I'm down with the flu today. I'm from Shenzhen as well, and I started my career as a cancer researcher. And after about 10 years working in the lab trying to develop new drugs to treat cancer, I realized it's more important to prevent people from getting cancer or to detect it early. And I also realized that with my expertise, it's much more needed in the not-for-profit world. And therefore, I found myself a job at Charity Foundation since 2019, and about 3 years ago, I launched my own charity project dedicated to make reliable breast cancer screening available, accessible, and affordable to all women in Hong Kong, in China, including Hong Kong.
Thank you all. So let me start with Nick, maybe, to ask you about what you like most about the program and how it had affected your work afterwards.
Sure. The thing I liked the most was the diversity of it. So that comes, I think Rob said this earlier, that from our mentors, but also the organization team to the people, our cohort, everyone had really different concepts. They came from different kind of like industries, even within the nonprofit. Like a lot of us were education, but there was a lot of people working with domestic helpers, medicine. Everyone had really, really different backgrounds and experiences. And then that translated from our mentors as well. So within the mentors, you get one of the alumni who joined previously. So it could be from last year, it could be multiple years. I was lucky to have someone who had won last year. So she had a lot of really good pitching tips and tricks for us. And my team really, really enjoyed that. But yeah, within the mentors, all of them were very, very diverse. And so you're able to kind of gain lots of different things from different people throughout the process.
Great, thank you, Nick. So, and Xian and Lucy, may I ask what you've learned most about the program and how it affected your work in mainland China as well?
Sure. To say, for example, we were required to do a final pitching project as introduced. So I work with Yon, a project manager in Womentor, which is organization, a social enterprise in Hong Kong, as some of you may know. So we were the only duo, and we were even a cross-boundary duo. So we had to spend a lot of time preparing, talking about what our organization could contribute to the project, and also what we can present to the final pitching day. So although we didn't win, because the winner sat next to me, but it was a very fruitful experience. And I think it was all what I like about SSILP is the people. So it's an opportunity for us to share the differences we have in different contexts of Hong Kong and mainland China, and still we can collaborate, and also we can share what we have in common, and also we can meet and greet and have lunch chat and coffee chats to know more about each other. Yeah.
Honestly, after every class, I truly feel empowered, Rob. Do we all know about the video game Super Mario? Like this little Mario going around, and every time after eating this mushroom, it grows bigger, right? And it's more powerful, bigger, and it can be more monsters. And that's exactly how I feel. So after every class, I felt like I ate this mushroom, I'm more powerful, bigger, and those problems for me before became smaller. I think SSILP just has this magical formula for blending the theoretical part and practical part together, which became this level up mushroom for students. I'll give you an example. So that's my favorite class that Rob just mentioned, crisis management. So everyone here, imagine that that a rumor, scandal, or say what we had before was a staff from your organization just molested a kid, right? And you are the leader of the organization, and you're forced to come forward to the media and to run a press conference. Do you know what to do? When to do it? What to say? And the whole team, you see those the press conference, a bench with 4 people, the role of each person. What do we do with it? We don't have a lot of time, honestly, when this happened, because those news would be exploding in the internet, flying around. So you don't have a lot of time to prepare for it. And you can never really prevent this from happening. So are you ready for it as a leader? And this could be devastating. And this could be like the last day of your organization, maybe. So what do you do about it? Honestly, I've got no clue. And from that class, I had lots of fun. So the whole class split into 2 groups. And so we took turns. And one group, as the organization, they had to run the press conference, they had to prepare for it. And the other group played a role as nasty journalism and firing nasty questions. And we had this really senior, experienced lady, I can't remember her name, and she was helping us out. We had so much fun. And of course, we learned a lot, but I have to be honest, and what we learned at the class definitely not going to be enough for us to deal with a real problem in the future. But that definitely told us that we are so unprepared. And that would be a great starting point where we start and we gradually build the capacity. So in the future, we'll be able to deal with it. And so that's a magical mushroom that I ate. I was so happy with the class, and thank you. And so, yeah, there are many other more examples, but I truly recommend and encourage you to come to the class and learn it yourself, experience yourself.
Thank you so much. So from what I hear from all 3 participants, diversity and also the exchange of ideas, the ability to collaborate with each other, even though we're from different contexts across the border, and also real and practice-based skill sets that you can actually take away or at least become aware of it. And that's also part of how we, as future leaders, be able to actually recognize our pain points and to then correspondingly strengthen it. So I have my last question for all three of you, which is for prospective applicants and also SSILP fellows 2025, what tips you might want to share with them during the application process, or how to say, if they get admitted, optimize their learning experience?
Go first, Sean. Whatever your experience is, like within our group, some people had been working in the industry for maybe 5 years, some 10 years, some longer, but enjoy being a student again. And it takes a bit of, especially in the nonprofit, when you're spending a lot of time doing many different hats, and you're part of marketing, you're part of strategy, you're part of all the execution. But then to unlearn and relearn again is a really, really kind of, you got to shift your mindset. And I remember particularly I wish someone had said this to me before my first session, was day one, go in to learn. A lot of us were kind of holding back on our very, very first session. That quickly went away. But you could tell that the teachers were wanting us to give us a little bit more. So be really brave and just go in to learn and kind of learn from each other, learn from your mentors, and learn from the team. That's my biggest advice.
To me, the first thing is to be confident. So, the program is for future and current leaders. So as a leader, you lead instead of following. So have faith in what you do and what you present, especially in your final teaching project. And to me, the second thing is to stay focused and undisturbed, because you have to attend a class every Friday afternoon or every other Friday afternoon. So you might know what's happening after a phone call, because the class is highly intensive and highly interactive. So I suggest you can work overtime like me to live it out for the Friday afternoon classes. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, I have a piece of advice for people who are coming from Greater Bay Area, China. Don't worry about English. Don't worry about it, because a few of my friends ask me, "Oh, the whole class is English. I'm so afraid. I'm nervous. I can read, I can't speak." Don't worry about it. I have problem as well, so that's why I have notes here. I read it, even with my self-introduction. But that doesn't stop you from learning, really. Just be brave. It's okay. A lot of them just like me, I have to read. So that's the first piece of advice. And second one, you asked me about the learning to write. Trust your mentor. I can't believe how helpful they were. And I was just pure lucky, I have to say. There were so many other brilliant projects, but my mentor actually spent a few months helping us to polish our project, giving a lot of advice. And the last lesson was that just changed the whole presentation for me. Really, really useful. I wouldn't have had that presentation without learning the last lesson. So every single lesson was a magical mushroom for me.
That's great. Okay, so thank you very much, all three of you, for taking the trip here tonight. And again, as our strong alumni network, we actually do see each other quite often, and I hope to see some of you also in the future in our events. Okay, so thank you very much for your sharing. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Choi and all the alumni. So yes, I'm happy knowing that they all come back. And obviously we have a selective bias. They have great students last year, and that's why they're invited to come back and tell great things about the program. Next, very important, you're all here to learn how to admit to this program. So I'm very happy to have Dr. Luke. Can I not speak your Chinese name? Luke, lecturer from department and the department and SSILP project team member, to walk us through the important information on the admissions.
Okay, so good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us today at this information session. My name is Luke, and as a lecturer here, I mainly teach nonprofit management. That is the reason why I stand here for SSILP. So over the next 10 minutes, I'll walk you through the program details, including who should apply, the eligibility requirements, the course fee, and also the attendance requirements, all the essential information details. So we'll leave some time for you to ask questions at the end of this session. So you may write down your questions as we go along. So let's get started. So first, who should apply? As you can tell from the name, SSLP, leadership, we're training leaders, but we're not training all kinds of leaders. We're only training leaders who contribute a lot to the nonprofit sector. So we hope you are based in Hong Kong or other Greater Bay Area cities. Not try to be exclusive, but you need to attend the classes every Friday afternoon. So we hope you to be near, so you can travel to make the time. And we hope you have a need, so you are preparing for your career growth, and we hope you have a mission in your mind. I think whether it's aligned with your organizations or not, but we hope you can contribute to the sector. You are passionate and committed to resolving societal challenges. So that makes you a great leader or a great future leader for the nonprofit sector, and that is the person we expect to be included in this program. And for the eligibility criteria, as you can tell from this info session, we expect you to have a good command of English, because you can see we have very diversified community of different students. So English is the best language for you to connect with each other. So we hope you'd have a good command of English. And we have two versions of other criteria. If you have a bachelor's degree, we hope you have about 3 years of working experience in the nonprofit sector or relevant field. For relevant field, you may be maybe from the ESG department for a corporate, or you may from a social enterprise, or you may from the government, but you are working with the nonprofit sector a lot. So you can prove to us why you are related to the nonprofit sector, and we will make the judgment. And if you don't have a bachelor's degree, no worries. If you have more than 10 years of working experience, we are still looking forward to welcome you as one of our participants. And every application will be evaluated on a case-by-case basis. That means if you do not fit all this criteria, but you still think you are a future leader, you can apply to this program, and we will evaluate based on your personal profile. So we're quite an inclusive program. So for the course fee, for participants from a nonprofit organization, the course fee is 3,000 Hong Kong dollars. And if you're not working closely, like aligned or associated with a nonprofit organization, from corporate or other organizations, you need to pay 11,000 Hong Kong dollars. This is a price that we charge like after the generous donation from UBS. So UBS subsidized a lot for this to give this of such a low price. But we still want you pay some course fee. So make sure that you are committed to this program and you gain a lot from this program. And for this nonprofit organization, if you're in Hong Kong, we're talking about Section 88 of IRO in Hong Kong. And if you're from mainland China, mainly you are social organizations like a social association, social service organization, or foundation, 社会团体、社会服务机构以及基金会。And also welcome association or foundation from Macau. So you can write an email to us if you are not sure about your organization identity. And for the attendance requirements, as you can see from the course schedule, which have presented by Professor Cui, we have 10 sessions listed there, but the field trip to mainland China during summertime is not a compulsory course. For all other courses that are compulsory, so we expect you to have 80% attendance, because we only have 9 sessions. That means you can only miss at most 1 session. So you need to attend all the other 8 sessions. We do expect you to attend all the 9 sessions. They're very great. And 100% attendance for all the mentoring sessions, all the 5 sessions of mentoring sessions happen at UBS. So you can check the schedule to make sure you have the time to attend the session. And lastly, you need to deliver a presentation of your final project on the pitching day, which is September 12th or 19th, yeah, September 19th, yeah, September 19th. And you will submit your presentation deck 1 week before that day. So the 3 requirements are for you to get a certificate as a signal for your completion of the whole program. And for the application timeline, The application starts today. I think right after this info session, so you can prepare for your application profiles from today, and they will end after the Chinese New Year, February 7th, and on a Friday night, the midnight. But be sure to upload that before the midnight. Sometimes technical problems will happen. I hope you know that. And you need to submit 2 forms through our website. One form for your own personal application form, and which includes a 1-minute self-introduction video. We want to look at you to see how good you are, how great you are. So please prepare a video and be sure to make the video is public for viewing. We have encountered many cases people upload some videos that we cannot access it. So we cannot see how good you are. So be sure to make it to public for viewing. And endorsement form from your organization if you are associated with an organization. We need to make sure that your boss knows you spent Friday afternoons with us, 10 Friday afternoons with us. So be sure to have the endorsement form from your organization. That are the 2 materials we need to prepare for this application. And the selection process, after your submission of your application form before February 7th, the shortlisted candidates will be asked for an interview on February 28th afternoon, a face-to-face interview, which will happen in the UBS office in Central. So today you have experienced the Hong Kong U atmosphere, and you will see UBS to see the great sea view there. Yeah, and in the early March, you'll get our offer if you are selected, and we'll collect your course fee as a kind of confirmation. And April 11th, the Friday afternoon, we will have a first lesson and opening ceremony, and we'll expect to welcome you there. And the quota for this is 30 participants. We have keep this quota very strict. We will admit no more students, only a very strict 30 participants. And this is quite competitive as our applicants are all very great. And last year we had more than around 60 applicants. So this year we're expecting more because we have more than 100 registrations even for the info session. So be sure to make your profile great, to shine, and to be selected. And I think some additional information is all the travel costs, no matter if you're from mainland China, you travel costs from mainland to Hong Kong, or like if you were going to the field trip to mainland China, all the travel costs are taken care of by yourself. We may have a bus to take you there, but all the other costs will be on you. And I think that's all for the information I would like to introduce to you. To wrap up, the SSILP is a great opportunity for you to grow as a leader, to connect with like-minded peers, as our alumni has just shown to you, and also to make a lasting impact to the community. So if you're ready to take a leap in your career, we strongly encourage you to apply. And now it's time we open the floor for any questions you may have, no matter you are here offline or you are online. Yes, any questions do we have?
Any questions? Oh, yeah. Do you want me to clarify? Yeah, so I know some of you are not from the NGO, as in Section 88 sector, organization. So we do allow those who are working for social enterprise to be considered as non-profit, but we really have to review case by case. And also for those organizations who are applying to be Section 88 will also be considered, on a case-to-case basis, whether you are considered as basically paying the lower fee and eligible for the pitching. Eligible for the pitching would definitely require Section 88, yes. But the application, the enrollment, can we go back to that slide? I think it's not that clear, and we should probably amend that before we post it online. Yeah, so it's stay here that it has to be Section 88 to be eligible to pay the lower fee of 3,000. But we do have cases of social enterprise or Section 88 to be eligible for the 3,000. Yes, just want to clarify that point. Yes, please. Okay. Oh. Just repeat the questions. The question was, must the participant be a full-time staff of an NGO, or it has to be, can they be part-time? Can they be board member? Yes. Can they be volunteer?
I think the main concern is if you do actually win the prize, you do have to be a Section 88 charitable organization to receive that funding. So in terms of whether or not you being a part-time staff could qualify your organization to receive that money, then I think it's admissible. Yes.
People
Yeah.
online has to listen to you, so I have to.
I know there's
Thank you.
I
Yeah.
know there's a requirement of 8 of 9 sessions, but what if there are already trips and so you can join them, but you might already have to join them online? Can some of these sessions be hybrid or they must all be? in person?
We do require our participants to come face to face, and online version is not available. So that's why we really value the community actually getting together in person and actually interacting with each other rather than having an online or hybrid version. So that post-COVID era have us actually decided that all sessions must take place in person. And that's why we show this schedule so early on, and it's to have applicants be sure that you're able to attend these sessions with one session as a leeway for you if you had already planned trips.
Some of the sessions are very interactive. So even if I let you to join online, you will be very left out.
Yeah, it's mostly a lot of group-based discussions around the table, round table discussions. You move around the room and whatnot. So it'd be very interactive, intensive, focused. Let me also add a component as a reminder for this SSILP project. It's actually counted as one of the academic bearing credit course that could be within the Master of Social Science in Nonprofit Management. So that's an actual master degree from HKU here within our department as well. So for applicants who have or with SSILP fellows who've completed the program, who then enroll in our Master of Nonprofit Management program, this actual SSILP program counts as one course, so credit bearing. So you could be course exempted for one course in order to graduate with an actual master degree. So for participants who do actually want to top up that with a degree, then this is a great starting point. Any questions from
the room before I address those online?
okay.
Maybe you're going to come back with some questions. So I'm just going to read out loud the questions online. The questions is kind of already answered, but it's really about whether the paid employees of the charities only be, those who are paid employees can be eligible. So I hope you listened and get the answer. Possible to brief what the interview involves?
Well,
I don't think anyone has ever asked us good questions. Good questions.
well, I wouldn't tell you now. But no, I think you can anticipate what we want to hear from you, right? I think it's the motivation, it's your vision, and also your commitment towards what you want to achieve throughout this program. And why is it that you should be considered as prospective future leaders of the nonprofit sector? So it would be questions revolving around those key themes.
I think you should look at the who should apply section. I will ask questions to verify whether you are who should apply.
And also talk to our alumni. You might get some insights.
Are here today.
Yes.
See, this is the face-to-face benefits of face-to-face. Yeah.
Next questions. When we will have the result announced, we already said it's early March. So hopefully you'll be able to book yourself available. Is being a corporate representative eligible to join? Do we need to prove any relevant work experience with NGO during application?
Well, I think we said earlier on it would be a case-by-case basis. A lot of corporate have philanthropy arms or ESG sessions or CSR sessions that actually do engage in a lot of work with the NPO or philanthropic sector. So it would be, it's not a no, but we would have to assess by case basis. But I do welcome these applicants to apply as well.
We do have a lot of questions online. Next
Yes.
question, where is the UBS office space, please? It's IFC.
It's IFC.
Hong Kong Station.
It's on the 15th
Uh,
floor. It's
yes,
very
the
high
Hong
with
Kong-
great harbor
yeah,
views.
Hong
Yeah.
Kong MTR stations. So for GBA participants, don't worry, we'll give you the instructions on how to get there. For those who are in Hong Kong, I suppose you should know how to get there. Is the field trip count as one of the lessons? We already mentioned that
Yeah.
it's not compulsory.
Voluntary
Yes,
basis.
and
Yeah.
also visa might be required for some of us. So it's also at your own expenses if visa is required, and we try to assist, but it's at the end of the day is you're up to you whether you want to join. Next is $3,000 fee only deducted after successfully enrolled into the program. Participants who were not selected, the $3,000 will not be taken. You will only be asked to pay $3,000 or $11,000 after you've been confirmed with the offer letter. For current MNPM students, its completion of this course or this program can still be counted as a course exemption criteria.
That's a personal question I'll answer afterwards. Yeah.
Okay, then
It's
go
not
to
as
Professor
current
Choi for
students.
it. Yes. Do we need to have a project in mind before applying to the program? Good questions.
You might want to have a general idea, but throughout the program, actually, you would have an intensive polishing and going back to the drawing board. But I would anticipate it would be an idea revolving around what your organization already does in terms of, say, the field or the population that you're serving. But you do not have to pitch to us at the interview day. It's a long process, and it will take a lot of finishing up and refinement.
Yes, so quite a lot of us actually would have a complete different project at the end of the program compared to day one. But it would be helpful if you have a project in mind, so that you feel more, I guess, confidence, and also you would have something in mind to know what you want to achieve during the program. Any questions from the room?
Actually, I had a question sort of similar, and I wonder if I can expand on that. If you are an applicant from an existing NGO, I sort of get how you can have a project in mind for the NGO already, but you're allowing corporate and individual applicants who may not already be part of an NGO, right? So they kind of have to apply knowing in mind which NGO they are part of or want to support or whatever. And that's why they're willing to pay $11,000 on their own to be part of this. In which case, if during the program, if they are applying as an individual, does their pitch, is it more like a seed funding for their own project, or they have to be aligned with an NGO in order to pitch?
It would be the latter. So they would have to form a collaborative partnership with an NGO, wherein the NGO would be the recipient of the funding.
And I guess just to add on that, in the past, we do have participants who ultimately never be eligible for the pitch, but they still join the program with the full fee. So that's always an option, but they will still be doing the pitching for the exercise sake of doing a pitching, if you know what I mean, if they're really in it for the learning, which is also possible. The only difference is that if they want to be eligible for the funding, and if they were to win, then it has to be attached with Section 88 organization, or in the case of China, it would be the all these entities. Yeah, so that's why we want to emphasize that you are here to learn. That's the main part. The pitch is the right word? The byproduct. Yes, the win is the byproduct. Yes.
Any supplement information you want to add to that?
Well, don't worry, we still stick around for a while, and there is an email that you can always inbox us. I don't know if it's on the screen or not, but it is on our website. Oh, and yes, just QR code here. So please do look into our website and be able to apply and look at all the details. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining.
Question from online.
It's a thank you.
Yeah,
It's a thank you.
They can see.
No,
it
thank
what-
you for
yeah.
those of you who joined online. I hope you feel engaged that I address or here, not the screen. I keep looking at the projector. Hi. So thank you for joining. And we hope to see your application. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for attending tonight. Thank you. Thank you, UBS.